handsome gents, welcome to another episode of Talk to the Hand Reviews. I'm Bold, the Reviews Lady. Let's have a little dance because this one is about fragrances to wear to the party that you're going to. You're going to some big party, some office party, your friend's party, somebody that you know. You're probably gonna, you're gonna really get decked out. You're gonna wear like something that you really feel like, that you really like, that you feel, probably a, little black dress or something like that. Maybe something sparkly. And you're gonna be having a fantastic time. You're most likely going to be eating, drinking, dancing, hugging, all those fun things. And you're gonna be sweating. You're gonna be having a really good time. You know it's coming. Or if it isn't coming, maybe you can recall a time when you did that kind of thing. So I just thought these are some really fun fragrances to suggest for that special night out when you're just gonna be, the big soiree, the company party. I used to go to a lot of those with my husband, and also as part of my own work, I used to do a lot of that. And it was always so much fun. And so here are some fragrances to suggest for that. I consider them to be bold, statement making, or statement making, just very sexy and just above average. And also at the end, I'm just going to give you a few little tips to help with the longevity, to keep your fragrance going all night when you're doing all of those fun things like hugging and dancing and drinking and eating, and your clothes, your coat is coming off and on, and you're bouncing around having a good time usually at a holiday party. So these are also for a little bit of longevity too. So I'll do that towards the end. So first up is I Want Choo by Jimmy Choo. Extremely similar to Carolina Herrera, Good Girl. Extremely similar. Very attention-getting and sensual fragrance. It is intriguing and sensual and playful and youthful and hot. Yeah, I Want Choo, Jimmy Choo. That's a good one for that holiday party. This one I just recently got. Sephora had a thing where if you buy the purse spray of a fragrance, it was this is $48 normally, Canadian. It came with this gorgeous little purse, this gorgeous little mini. But I just wanted to show it to you because it's so pretty. But the main thing is, this is Paco Rabanne 1 million gold for her, and I just think this is just beautiful and youthful and mature at the same time, and sexy and golden, and just like everything good, everything high life, everything you're living your best. This is the fragrance of living your best life. That is, I just think it's got pear in the top notes, and this is a really, really nice one. And this one also, no matter what else I choose to leave the house wearing, this will be in my evening bag. Oh yeah, baby, there we go. This one is big and classic, and back in the day I heard that it was banned from restaurants. You better not wear this in a restaurant, you. No, but nowadays, nobody cares. Every fragrance is, a lot of fragrances are quite large. So this was a great fragrance back in the day. It's still a great fragrance. and it's large and in charge, and probably no one will even know what you're wearing. They'll just know you smell good. Giorgio, Beverly Hills. Oh yeah, it's like sunshine in a bottle. Sunshine and the good life in a bottle. And that's what you're having. That's the kind of fun you're having at this holiday party. Yeah. Carry this one, big one in your purse, and just keep on touching up. Getting warm and sensuous on that dance floor at that holiday party where you are dressed all nice. Couture from Juicy Couture. Have you forgotten how sexy? This is warm and flirtatious. Yeah. I feel like it's just honey and maybe some tea. But definitely flowers. Definitely flowers. Probably vanilla. I don't remember knowing what's in here. But I think this is a really good any age fragrance. It's just a really pretty one. Pretty and very sexy for your holiday party. Okay, I know some of you guys like vintage fragrances. So I went deep vintage vault. I sold this one behind the counter. This bottle, it was in either the late 80s or the early 90s. I love this fragrance so much. It's discontinued. You cannot get it. It was really the first, one of the first American designer fragrances. It is Norell from Norell. Now I know you're not likely to have this, but this is so pretty. And if you do, look at my tiny bits of juice. I'm not even gonna mess around wasting it in the air. But this one, oh, is it gonna spray? Come on, bud. I know it did spray. I cannot get it to spray, and I'm pretty sure that I was able to get it to spray not long ago, but that's how it is, you know. But I still want to pull it out of the archives and say, if you ever get a chance to try this, it is the most sophisticated fragrance. It's in the same realm as Chanel No. 5. And another one that is in the exact same realm is First by Van Cleef and Arpels. Just really, really classy. Just classy, like big old emerald cut diamonds, you know, that kind of just classy. Anyways, Norell by Norell, which was Revlon. I sold it when I worked behind the counter for Ultima 2 Cosmetics, because Ultima 2 was an upscale Revlon. At the risk of stating the obvious, I feel like this next fragrance is really just, there is no way that you can not feel regal and high class and just like opulent and bigger than life, and I'm here to enjoy the party than this gigantic fragrance in every way from Baccarat Rouge 540. I mean, this fragrance, it's worth the money, because not only do you feel like it's so luxurious, but it lasts, it projects the sillage. It lasts for days a lot of times. It'll last a long time on your clothes. It lasts on your body. You know, you figure you get a lot more wear out of this fragrance because you only have to use a little bit. Too much a little goes a long way. And that says a lot in this day and age of fragrances. So I feel like if I wear this, anytime I want to feel like no one can tell me anything, I love to wear this. When I just want to feel like, yes, this is my moment, and I want to feel, you know, Like, yeah, this just is the icing on the cake when you just want to feel really elegant and really put together at that holiday party. Baccarat Rouge 540. I feel that I wanted to mention an Avon fragrance that I think is beyond high class. It is really, to me, the most high class smelling Avon fragrance that I've had a chance to try, and I've had a chance to try quite a few now. This is a vintage bottle, but they still sell this one new, and I don't know if it's this good new or not. I don't know, but I do know that this fragrance is so stunning, and it is Rare Gold. Oh, this fragrance reminds me of some outdoor gala, even in the evening even, maybe, where there's some beautiful opulent flags waving in the wind. There's something really big going on. It's just so high. It's high. It's just so high class. It's so high end smelling. I forget who it was. I think it might have been Olivier Crusp that did this one. But I don't remember. I'll have to go back and check that before I put this video up. Now, won't I? But this is a fantastic, if you want to feel elegant and high class, yes. Rare Gold from Avon. Here's an unusual one. I bought this and it came completely empty, and I bought a tester, and it was a fantastic deal from Fragrance by Canada, and they redeemed me, but I just kind of was hoping they would send me the product, you know, but they didn't. They're like, okay, here you go, here's your like really good here's your good deal back, you know, it's all right. But I really think this is a fragrance worth mentioning because it's very unique. It is Elizabeth Taylor White Diamonds Night. I know I've had a lot of conversations with some of you who really like that whole White Diamonds line, and I only know a little bit. I know original White Diamonds really well because it was around back in the day. I don't remember selling it, but I know that it was around when I was working in the industry, maybe when I was working for Guerlain or somebody. But this came completely off like this, and all that's left is what's in that little thing, the little tube there. But you can still smell the fragrance, and it leaked really hard all over the box. But what I want to say about this is a beautiful, sensuous, mysterious, incensey type of a fragrance. Of like, I don't remember what's in it, but I feel like it's got something very warm in it, like vanilla and incense, but I don't remember for sure at all what's in here. But it's like a very dark, sexy, sensuous fragrance. So White Diamonds Night, Elizabeth Taylor, another opportunity to rock the holiday party, baby. Okay, I think this fragrance is so sexy. This is so sexy. It's by a designer named Vicky Tiel, who is herself a very interesting person, but she's an independent designer, and I love fragrances like that from independent design houses that are really nice and that are actually not really, really expensive. Her fragrances are mostly really quite affordable, and this is one. It's called a Sirene, the siren that sits on the rock and makes her sound, ah, whatever the sound is. No, I think it's not that. What happens is, I guess that, well, anyways, the story, how the story ends is irrelevant. The important thing here, folks, is that this is a sexy fragrance that is just sweet like honey, very come hither, very, if you want to feel that extra level sexy, this is youthful, and something about it is just very, I wear this when I want to feel shamefully sexy. I wear this when I want to feel I'm too sexy for myself. Just when I want to feel a little bit sexier. You know, this is just great. Vicky, Sirene from Vicky Tiel. Bang it up at that holiday party. Okay, and I got a couple more to go. This one I was recently reunited with. I never owned a bottle of it. But I always liked it, but I just never ended up buying it because back then a lot of fragrances were around. I mean, I just couldn't afford to go around buying every fragrance. A lot of it I got for free too. That was the perk of working in that industry, you know. It was one of the perks of working in that industry, you know, is getting these really nice high-end fragrances that would cost me a lot of money back then. So this one I was curious about, and I wanted a bottle back when it cost a lot more than it does now. This one did not really go up in price, and it's a good one for when you want to really feel like your fragrance is projecting, and you know, when you want to feel like you smell really nice on the dance floor, or when you're hugging people and all that stuff. It is Boucheron by Boucheron, the original. You didn't think we weren't gonna dance for the holiday party, did you? All right. Anyways, enough shenanigans. So I like this fragrance. I've always felt that it was very high class smelling, very expensive smelling. It's more sweet than I remember. I thought that I remembered. I always felt it was commandingly strong, and I still feel that about it. But I don't. Before, I think maybe it was too strong for me personally. But this isn't. I can wear this and I feel quite comfortable, and I feel like it does project. It's not the most long-lasting one I thought it would be, but unfortunately it's not the most long-lasting fragrance, but you can layer it, and you can get a longer wear also on your clothes. So it is, it does have a lot of good projection and a lot of good sillage, but a couple times I've worn it and it didn't quite. So anyways, Boucheron, from Boucheron, this so classic, and many flankers now, but a wonderful old fragrance. Very statement making for the holiday gathering. Okay, and I have one more, and I please want to ask you, please, can you write below, what is your plan for your holiday get-togethers this year? Especially if you got some, you know, work gala extravaganza, or just getting together at the pizza joint, or whatever it is that you know, you're planning on doing, whatever the party is. What's the fragrance you're planning to wear? You got to think about this ahead of time. So I'm gonna try to get through this fast because I always go too long anyways. Yes, I Am from Cacharel. It's playful, it's honey, it's sexy. It just smells like a good, innocent, fun, sexy time. Yes, I Am from Cacharel. One to consider for the holiday get-together. And also just some really quick layering tips to make your fragrance last as long as possible. Because you know it's going to be a long night. You're going to have your spray in your carry bag. But you know what I mean. You like to feel like you're set when you leave the house or wherever to go to your soiree. And so just some of the simple ways to do that are to layer. And this is what they taught me back in the day when I worked in cosmetics and fragrance. And this is the way they used to do it. Now, layering nowadays a lot of times doesn't mean this. Layering before always meant this, what I'm going to tell you. It's pretty simple. It's exactly as you would imagine. And I'm just going to go through really quick. First off, it's good to have some kind of exfoliator in the shower. This one is an Avon Far Away Body Scrub and Wash. Usually what does it though is your loofah, or those little, we used to call them the Binlange, the little scrubby scrunch, you know, that we usually use. And something, a product like this, or some other type of product, just to slough off the top skin cells, just to give you a good clean surface. Then when you get out of the shower, if you happen to have the body products like the accompanying lotion or body cream that goes with the fragrance that you want to wear that evening, of course, that's your next step. Creams in general are thicker and have higher perfume content. This is what they used to tell me back in the day. I don't know if that's still true. And that lotions had less emollient and less perfume content. But what I'm going to tell you is using any cream or body lotion will help out. Here I've got a couple of examples. It doesn't have to be from the line that you're using, and it can have no fragrance at all. But you can go in the direction of the kind of fragrance that you're using. You know, like if you want something, like for instance here, Bob Mackie body cream. I'm going to use the body cream rather than a lotion because my skin is a little bit on the dry side. So that's going to help the emollient, the fragrance adhere to the emollient more. And a cream is really good for me for that. Now, if you like creams but they're too thick and they bother you, put them on when you get out of the shower. Put it in your hand and put a little water with that, and that should help smooth that all over your body. So that, or a lotion, you know, some lotion that is either has no fragrance, the fragrance that matches the fragrance that you're going to wear that night, or something kind of similar. It could even be something like if your fragrance is vanilla leaning, get something vanilla leaning. If your fragrance is gourmand, get something berry leaning. You know, you can do anything like that. But it's usually got to be a lotion or a cream. After that step, if you have the pure perfume oil of the fragrance, before getting dressed, you're going to put it on your body. You're going to put it on your pulse points, behind your ears, even like near your armpits, you know, anywhere that is warm, your hair. You know, you're going to really put that perfume on your body after you put on those emollients. Then another step they told us, okay, and the next thing that they used to tell us to do, because back then we used to sell a lot of this, it was still popular, was to use a powder to seal everything in. People don't really do that too much anymore. I do, as you can see. I love this Yardley English Rose powder. I've had a few other kinds. You know, talc, there's a controversy over talc, and I don't use it every day. But if you want to try to seal in everything that you just did to make it last longer, powder can be a choice. Then after that, you're going to be wearing, if you're going to be wearing anything revealing, you're going to want to use some sort of a dry oil spray. Here I have an Avon one called Prima. I actually also have this for another, and anyways, I love dry oil sprays. I have always loved dry oil sprays, and back in the day when I used to be out at night a lot in clubs or working at, you know, or working or just out somewhere where anyway skin was showing, I would always use a dry oil spray because it leaves the sheen on your skin. Here's the Chanel No. 5 version of that. And it doesn't have to have any fragrance, or it could have a fragrance that is similar to any of the base notes or any of the notes of the fragrance you're wearing that night. But it will elevate your look because you will be shiny and moisturized, and it always looks sexy. So that is a step that I think is really great. You could do that instead of the lotion or the cream if you like. But the thing about this is, as a final touch, it's not all over your body. It's just in more of your exposed skin areas, and it just looks so good. Okay, and in this case, I used the Bob Mackie body cream, so I'm just gonna go ahead and say Bob Mackie would be my fragrance of choice. You're gonna spray this all over your body before you get dressed. Outside of your underclothes. You're going to put your underclothes on first, but then you're going to spray your body. 10 sprays. 10, 20 sprays. Then You're going to get dressed, and then you're going to spray your clothes. And however many you want. If you feel like you've already overdone it, not that much. If you still have room for more, another 10 sprays on your clothes. Now, if you don't like the idea of spraying that much fragrance, or you don't want to up that close to your face, there are a few things that you can do. One is just don't apply it above your waist. Keep it down where your legs are. That way you're not always going to be smelling it, but you know that when you walk, it's there and it will still really smell pretty. And another way, back in the day when people were afraid of wearing too much fragrance, we used to tell them, spray the air a few times and then walk through that. And then it just kind of lands on you, and it's just a nice little bit. It's not too much, So that's the opposite strategy. Anyways, I just want to tell you, I wish you have the best holiday party. If you get to go to any holiday parties this year, don't forget to write down below what you plan to wear for fragrance. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you next time.